Hello, it's Liz. It's that time of year again, time to get our students ready for state testing. We want them to be able to show what they know, so we want them to be familiar with the testing format, which is different than what many of them have experienced in the past. There are two links on the district page. The first one you'll see is this CAASP practice test. CAASP is the new acronym, because of course we needed a new one, for California Assessment of Student Performance and Progress. This is the California version of it. When you click on that first link, it's going to take you to this guest sign-in, which is where you'll find your test pages, or your practice tests. You don't need to change anything in these windows. It's automatically filled in guest. And leave this guest. You just have to notice this blue bar, choose your grade level, and then check yes. This will show you your math training test, practice test, and the performance task sample, and then the same thing for language arts. You'll notice that language arts and math, the training tests, are for a band, 3rd through 5th. When you choose one, you're going to see all different options here. You don't need to change any of them, and just select. And then it says, this is very similar to what the actual testing looks like. Are you sure this is the test? And you say, yes, start my test. It's going to ask you to sound check. You can't check yes until you actually check the sound. And then yes. It'll give you some instructions. Make sure you go over these instructions with your students so that they read them. This will give them some extra tips about how the test works and the things that they can use. And then you have begin test now, and it'll take you straight to the practice test. This is important for them to see this interface and remember, for example, that the next button is up here, etc. So this is what's available from that first link of the CAASP practice test. The second link is the SBAC portal. Now SBAC is for Smarter Balanced Assessment Consortium. This is the group that's writing the test for multiple states. So this is another opportunity for you to show them some of the tools that they'll have available on the test. Okay, so some things to note, especially in math, you want to show them this equation response editor, because there are a lot of options in here that they may not be familiar with. This gives some instructions that you can read through with them. And then next, these are little tutorials about how to use this equation calculator. Now if you're in the primary grades, you probably don't need all of the functions, but these are the different tutorials that are on here. So maybe you want to show them parentheses, fractions. It gives examples of how to use the calculator. For example, you can create fractions using the keyboard. In the first box, do this, in the second. So kind of walk these through with your students and then give them chances to practice, of course. In that initial, I'm going to go back to the SBAC portal again. Some other things in here that you might want to notice are these resources, the resource and documentation page, and there's also a calculator practice. Okay, in resources and documentation, you have the practice user guide, classroom administration guidelines, and these are where all of your practice performance tasks are, as well as the scoring guide. Helen Cosgrove has also linked these in a document that you'll be receiving, but this is where they are on the website if you want to refer to them there. And then these are rubrics that might be useful all year long. All right, so those are the two main resources you have this year to get your students ready for the format and the rigor of the state test. Let me know if there's anything I can do to help you, and have fun.